We have multiple New York Yankees updates, and this has serious implications on the New York Yankees going forwards this season in regards to multiple players coming off of this injury list, as the New York Yankees are about to get back at a fuller strength team. Meanwhile, Aaron Boone will have some tough decisions to make in regards to who is going to be getting playing time, while other guys could end up losing some time on the field, as the Yankees do have some log jams they're going to have to figure out, and we're going to break all of this down. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Yankees Digest. It's Chris here, and we're going to jump right into things as always. And guys, if you're part of that 79% that's not subscribed to Yankees Digest, you guys have been killing it with the views, the likes, the subs recently. Let's keep it up. We're on that road to 8K. Thank you so much for 7, but let's jump into the video. There is a lot to go over on the New York Yankees right now, as there's been multiple players who we now are seeing are coming off of the injury list. There's a few guys such as Jazz, Chisum, and others who have been down with injuries, and now we have good updates for. And Aaron Boone is going to have to decide where these guys will play, if these guys will play, and it is going to become a dilemma for this team sooner rather than later. Now, with trade season coming up, you never know what could happen. The Yankees could make a surprise move or two and maybe thin out their logjam that way. But there is just a lot of discussion that has to be gone over in regards to all of this happening. So, taking a dive into what Greg Joyce mentioned, he said that Jazz Chisum Jr. is scheduled to go through a full workout tomorrow and then go on a rehab assignment later in the week, according to Aaron Boone. Meanwhile, as mentioned by Joyce as well, Jazz Chisum could be playing in minor leagues by the end of the week, with Giancarlo Stanton is in Tampa and will be having live at-bats all week. Fernando Cruz is with the team in Anaheim and should toss live batting practice during the Dodgers season. Good to see that Fernando Cruz is coming back. Obviously, that was Jazz, not Fernando Cruz, but good to see Fernando Cruz coming back. Obviously, he is an important player. He had a very good stretch for the Yankees thus far. He's been good with that absolutely incredible ability to strike guys out with a nasty breaking ball, but he's not exactly who this video is about today, because we've actually talked about Fernando Cruz a ton on this channel, and I love that because I really like Fernando Cruz. He's a 35-year-old who got drafted as a shortstop back in 2007 and is now first in the MLB as of 2 years ago, and now at the Yankees, where he's really getting things to click. It was a trade that worked out well for the Yankees when they moved on from Jose Trevino, and now they do have a guy in Cruz who's helpful. So, without really talking any more about Fernando Cruz, the big three guys here are Jazz Chisum, Giancarlo Stanton, and Luishill, who we also have an update on. But starting with Jazz Chisum, man, Jazz has had a very interesting season with the New York Yankees. I feel like that's the best way to put it. In 105 at-bats, he's got a 181 batting average, but in that span, he also has 7 home runs out of his 19 hits. So it's been a bit weird. We've seen a lot of power from Jazz Chisum using that torpedo bat, but at the same time, we've also seen an excellent fielder who usually is better at making contact than this. I mean, with a career 245 batting average, this is well below Jazz's average, and the OPS is down, the slugging percentage ended up being down, and the on-base percentage went down. He went through a nasty slump during that more recent time before he went down with the injury. So it becomes this situation where currently you just have to kind of sit with it and see if Jazz Chisum's going to get back and then what he's going to look like when he gets back. I do expect Jazz to bounce back and not have these terrible contact numbers throughout the season. I think it was just a weird start to the year, and then he had a slump, and now coming back from the injury, he should be able to get time to really get things going. His fielding is excellent at second base, and right now DJ LeMahieu has been operating from that second base role, and we'll see what happens with that. But as of right now, LeMahieu's got a 233 batting average, an OPS of 636, and a slugging percentage of 333. Obviously, the numbers are not excellent. He is still a good fielder, but LeMahieu is someone who you don't exactly want to be your starting infielder for this Yankees team at all, at least thus far into what he's looked like since coming back from the injuries. So maybe it works for now. The Yankees do need to find a right-handed third baseman who's, better. But for now, it could work. LeMahieu is at second base right now, which is his more natural position, but he can play third. He played third recently, and that was where he was scheduled to play at the beginning of the year before going down with the injury. And then with Jazz being hurt, LeMahieu played second. But we will see DJ LeMahieu at third a good amount as well, sharing time with Oswald Peraza once Jazz Chisum gets back. So it'll be good to see Jazz back. It'll be good to see what he could do on the field with the New York Yankees. Obviously, an oblique injury is a weird thing. It can take a while. He hurt it when he swung, and then diving into third base, he really, something was not right. He's been out since then, but now it does seem as if he'll be back soon. Also, fun fact, this photo of Jazz Chisum is the day that they are giving out those New York Yankees jerseys that were like the Knicks City jerseys. And my green screen's about to look a little bit weird right now, and you might see my legs for the first time in history of Yankees Digest. But very quickly, guys. So Jazz himself handed this to me, which was one of the cooler moments of being a Yankee fan. That photo of Jazz Chisum shown there, he was giving out the jerseys, and I was in a rush because I didn't think I was going to get this, and I mean, look at it. It's awesome. So I really wanted it, and long story short, I was racing through the line. There were two people walking in front of me that were walking as slow as humans have ever walked in their lives. I was about to tear my hair out. I ended up going full Breece Hall, just running back, spin off, getting through them, and then I was looking at my phone trying to get my ticket ready. They actually didn't check my ticket. I just kind of walked into Yankee Stadium. I did have a ticket. I had 4, in fact, because my friends were coming, but then I just look up, and Jazz is handing me that, and it was one of the craziest moments of my life, and it was really cool. Shout out to Jazz for that. He was really nice. But I just wanted to say that because it is a fun story. However, the New York Yankees, man, there is a lot going on with them. Considering that Giancarlo Stanton is going to return soon, and a guy in Oswald Peraza, who has been an infielder but is falling out of favor with the Yankees with a 167 batting average, his spot is going to be harder to retain. Because now with LeMahieu, Jazz, Stanton, all back, it does get a little bit fishy on how you're going to use Peraza, who when you have Jazz, when you have LeMahieu, you already have a bunch of infielders. So it does become interesting. I mean, Peraza will stay over Pablo Reyes for sure, and Bibas, because they can just send Bibas down. But Peraza's spot is in some danger, so I do think we'll see the Yankees end up moving Peraza at some point. This won't help with the logjam, but it will just kind of get an extra spot onto the Yankees lineup, or not even lineup, but into their depth, which does help a little bit. So, a little bit of a tidbit there. But Giancarlo Stanton last year had a 233 batting average, 97 hits, 27 home runs, 72 RBIs, and 49 runs scored in the 114 games that he played. He had a 773 OPS and a 475 slugging percentage. The real kicker was when he got to the playoffs, though, when he had a 273 batting average, 15 hits, 7 home runs, 16 RBIs, and 9 runs scored in 14 games. He was hitting a home run every other day at that rate. And he was phenomenal. I mean, he won the ALCS MVP, had an OPS of 1.048. Slugging percentage at 709. Looked like that MVP Stanton from all those years ago. That's just what he does in the playoffs. The Yankees want to use him, so things do become super complicated when you have to figure out exactly what Giancarlo Stanton is going to be when he comes back. How's he going to bounce back from this injury? The first time he ever missed the start of the season like this. And on top of that, how are you going to play him? Because Ben Rice is too good that you can't really stop him from DHing. And you got 4 outfielders also in Dominguez and Bellinger and obviously Judge, but his spot's locked up. And then Trent Grisham. And the only one who can play a different position in the infield is Bellinger, who plays first base, and that's where Paul Goldschmidt is, who is the 3rd highest OPS on the team right now and the best and 2nd best batting average. So it becomes really, really difficult to decipher where the hell Giancarlo Stanton's going to go, considering the only other position Ben Rice plays is first base or catcher, occupied by Austin Wells, and Rice hasn't really caught that much. And then, obviously, again, Paul Goldschmidt. So if Rice does start taking ground balls at third base, that would be ideal. Or continues to take ground balls at third base, that would be ideal. So they can continue to try to use that and maybe move Rice to third base and see how he operates there. He is a righty when he throws the ball, so he can handle it there. I think that's your move right now, is you see if Ben Rice can do it. I think he can, honestly. If you could catch, if you could play first base, there's a good chance you could work it out of that hot corner as well. And it is worth a shot, if you ask me. There is the fear of you're going to mess up his batting, but you want Stanton in that lineup as well. So it's going to become tough. I imagine when Stanton comes back, they'll slow roll him, and they'll have him going up against lefties and Rice against righties. And then they'll start to ramp Stanton up more and more until he becomes the full-time DH, and they probably wind up moving Rice to third base, is my guess of what's going to happen, if you ask me, considering Rice has already started taking those ground balls at third base. So we'll see how all that goes. But on top of that, guys, we do have another update as well, because Luishill, a man who was 15-7 with an ERA of 3.50 and had 171 strikeouts and 29 appearances in his rookie season in 2024, winning Rookie of the Year, he got a major injury update as well, because what we saw with Heel is a guy who has been a very, very talented young player for the New York Yankees. Looks like he could be a future ace for the Yankees, but then went down with a lat injury that's kept him out all season. The expectation was he'd be back around mid-June. Now it feels like a bit of like a mid to later June thing. My expectation was sometime around June 15th, which I will stand by. I think it's possible. We could also end up seeing him closer to the July portion of June, but right now, we're going to say somewhere between June 15th and June 25th, I'd say, is when Luishill does get back on the mound for the Yankees. in his first game back, he'll probably only pitch like 4 innings because, again, Luishill's young. They want to make sure that he's all right. They have a great bullpen. Ryan Yarbrough can come in if he's the one who gets removed from the starting pitching rotation, which I imagine he will be, even though he's pitching like an absolute monster right now. So there's a world where they do something else. That's just my expectation because Yarbrough more often comes out of that bullpen anyway, or at least throughout his career thus far, given that only means so much. But Heel, the update is that he should get on the mound for the first time on Friday, meaning he will be pitching back from the mound again. This does not mean he is pitching. It means he's on the mound, he's doing work, and that means he should only be a few weeks out of getting back to the New York Yankees, getting back on this team, and just being one of the best pitchers on the team. So I'm excited to see Luishill come back. I'm a big fan of his game. I have been a big fan for a while now, so I think he'll be a huge, huge, huge help for this Yankee team. And people are forgetting that these numbers are great, but it was after he started to burn out because he'd never played a full season before. When he did play a full season, up until that June 15th mark, or actually June 14th, but he pitched on June 14th. He had a record of 9-1 with an ERA of 2.03 and 96 strikeouts in those 14 appearances. In his first half of his rookie season, the man was downright nasty. Now we're going to get him for another half a year, which in the long term could freak you out that he might burn out again next season or something. But also, now you get Luishill, and you don't have to worry about the burnout unless it happens towards the playoffs, which could be a little bit worrisome. The Yankees pitching with Fried and Rodon has been excellent up to this point, and you do have some other options. Will Warren's looked phenomenal as well. Ryan Yarbrough can do it. So you do have other options, so you don't really have to live or die with Luishill depending on how he pitches this season. But I do think we'll get a good version of Heel back, considering he'll only have to pitch for half of a season. I'm excited to see all these guys come back to the Yankees and see how the Yankees decipher this team. What do you guys think is going to happen? Let me know in the comments down below. Like this video, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Have a great day, and go Yankees. And it didn't stop recording. Look at that.